So can an infrastructure deal be struck? With me now, Indiana Republican Senator Mike Braun, a member of the Budget Committee. Senator, you're the person to ask here. What can get done on a bipartisan basis? We saw the president making his push today.
So if you look at the last example of it on the COVID relief bill, did the same song and dance over at the White House. Not one Republican idea was incorporated into it, and we ended up spending, I think it was $1.9 trillion there. Infrastructure is going to be arguably more popular than that. That came at a time when we could see COVID was kind of ebbing a bit, and since then it has proven to be the case. Here, everyone loves infrastructure, but when you hear, let's go big, let's go fast, does that sound like it would end up being done efficiently, maybe giving time for markets to adapt to it? I know the big three have said that they want to be all electric, by 2030. Got to talk about the grid. If you move that quickly, you may not even be able to have the electricity that could do it, let alone all the stations you need to build. When you start trying to allocate resources at the trillions of dollars, and this is 2.5 trillion, and even if you reduce roads and bridges to 600 to 800 billion, I mean, these numbers are thrown around. The whole relief package back in 08 or 09 was that amount. You get inefficiencies, you get mistakes. I'm one that believes we need to move into the future. It scares me when I start to see government trying to orchestrate it all. That's never worked. That's been proven in many other places. When you have a central command economy, you start getting real sloppy, you waste money, and we're borrowing every penny of this to boot.
So, Senator, I have so much to get to there, but listening to that, I don't think the American people here are Republican senator opposed to electric vehicles. You just want private companies to get more involved than the government seems to want to be at this point. You referenced the squad pushing them to go big, go fast. It's almost like you should say go bigger, because President Biden went big, and they're pushing him bigger on this plan. How much do you think that President Biden is willing to give into their calls?
It's gotten to be such a hot political environment when I see some of the other things they want to do with stuff that for sure is going to require breaching the filibuster, like the voting rights bill, the H.R. 1, S1. That'll be the first test of the filibuster in my mind. A lot of this other stuff you can kind of wangle through reconciliation, but we are borrowing every bit of it. And I'm a Republican. I started the climate caucus. Republican Party can't be the party of no, or we don't want to engage on it, but you still can't throw all the principles away of what's made this place so inefficient in the first place, and be honest with the American public. You talk about taxes, revenue, that wouldn't even put a small dent in our normal structural deficits we run annually. And now the $2 trillion we passed, the $4 trillion looming, this is like government gone wild, in my opinion, and you'll get sloppy results as a result.
Interesting. That seems to be the fear of a lot of Republicans. But to go back to your point, though, about the electric vehicle push that you saw the president make today, you're not opposed to that. What role does government play in looking forward into the future? I mean, what level of involvement do you want to see? Where can you find compromise?
I've been here just about 2.5 years, and so many individuals, businesses come here for the federal government to lead. It'd be different if we had been knocking it out of the park with any of the stuff we've been doing through the federal government, but we've evolved into where we tolerate borrowing from our kids and grandkids. Any business, any other entity could not do that. So I think it's dishonest when you're asking government to be this big, broaching the ideas, maybe putting a little applied research, basic research into stuff. Don't try to run the show through government. Other countries have tried it and they've gone bankrupt or changed their system when you get too much, especially through the federal side of government. It's
an important point. We hear a lot of criticism about the size of these plans, but also you're questioning the efficiency of them. If the government is in charge of these programs, what do we end up with? We appreciate the time tonight. Thank you, Senator.
You bet. My pleasure.